acting surprised, but I know I'm not over you.
I am extremely excited to share the first part of my Extreme Spring Deep Cleaning series. If you saw last year's spring clean, you know I really love deep cleaning our home, but this year it will be even more intense. We will clean, organize, declutter, do house projects and decorate a tiny bit, but the most important is that we will clean every inch of the space, no matter if the dirt or dust is on the wall, on the floor or on a fabric. It all has to go. And of course we will tackle some organizing issues with house projects, what will make the cleaning and tidying even more easier in the long run.
Missing a fight.
Hi guys, welcome back, and I hope you got just as excited as I am and you are ready to take the jump in this deep cleaning wave with me, so let's get started. We are starting off with the first extreme cleaning project of mine, which is cleaning our rug. As I said in previous videos, this is something what I was planning to do for a long time now, and with the weather being so warm, now is the right time to do it. But before I would soak the rug, it's better to vacuum it first. The more dust I can pull out now, the less mud I will have to deal with later. And before we would go any further, just a little secret between us. I ended up spending 10 hours deep cleaning and transforming just the living room. 10 hours on a single space. It sounds crazy, but seeing where it got me, I would do it all over again. Also, since it took me truly 10 hours, I just wasn't able to squeeze everything into one video, so the second part will be up for you guys next week. And in goes the rug for a nice long bath. Well, a bigger or longer bathtub would work better, but we will make it work with this one as well. We just need to turn and toss the rug more times so every part gets soaked, and once it will be fully wet, it will bend more easily. To clean the rug, I used the washing capsule and baking soda. Baking soda also helps with odor. And for those of you who are new here, the backstory is that we had odor issue with this rug every time after I cleaned it until it completely dried. So this is why we are turning to a more drastic solution. Now this rug will be anyway changed at some point because it's too small for the living room, but before I get rid of it, I wanted to do this experiment. Rugs can be pretty expensive, so you don't just like that change them because of odor, especially if there is a solution to fix it. Hopefully this experiment will fix our issue and also give a solution for those of you who also struggle with this. And of course later on I will tell you my opinion about this method. Now before we would dive into the deep clean, there are a couple of house projects to get done, like changing the cabinet under the aquarium. There are many reasons why to change it. For one, it's just not sturdy enough anymore, but also by building a custom piece that fits the space perfectly, I will get more storage and a much cleaner look. Of course, before we can get to the construction, I have to move the fish out and drain the water. Also, if you aren't really a house project person, you can skip ahead to a more intense cleaning part, but if you like to learn how and why we done the cabinets and see the progress of the rug, then just relax and keep watching. I also have to empty out the cabinet because it was too heavy to lift it. We keep all kinds of papers and our pet stuffs here, and probably it will be the same in the new cabinet as well, but I would like to better separate them, so like one side pet stuffs and other side papers. We will see later on how much space we will have and how we can organize it, but that's the goal because it would be clearer for all of us where should we look for what.
Even though there's overdue.
So we made sure not to make the cabinet base too tight because from previous experiences we learned that here the walls aren't level and flat and the same size. Every inch of it has a different wideness and depth, but still we had to modify the cabinet. So until my husband fixed the issue on the cabinet, let's see our filthy rug. And now look at that, water is so dirty. I cannot even imagine how the water would look like if I wouldn't have cleaned this carpet a million times before. Now I am trying to drain that dirty water, then fill it with clean one, but this time we won't use any cleaning solution, just let it sit in plain water.
We had a fire, now we're watching it burn low. Isn't it time we go our separate ways? Not enough time, not enough time. I'm falling behind, I hate to say.
Third time is a charm. Finally we beat every bumps and humps on the wall and fitted the cabinet base.
Separate my body and mind, my body and mind.
Now let's drain this second round filthy water and take the rug outside to drain and dry. It was quite impressive to see how much dirt came out of the rug using this soak cleaning method. It wasn't too much dust or extra dirt piece left behind, I guess because it's been regularly vacuumed, but still the water was disgusting. Then now the cabinet is finished and painted, only the doors needs to be added, but it's functional enough to move the aquarium finally back. Our poor two guppies stayed 2 days in a big jar, so I am eager to move them back.
Losing my pride, but I guess that's what love do to people like us, struggling to come through. We had a fire that we watched burn out.
I just added a few plants back and cleaned the gravel as much as I could. I used a bag to fill the aquarium to keep the plants and gravel in place, but later on my electric aquarium vacuum just washed away everything. There will be a big water change because I couldn't store enough water from the old one, so I didn't want to take out everything and wash it, keeping as much biome alive as I can. Bigger than 15% water change can hardly affect everything in the aquarium, I mean fish and plants, so keeping the filter dirty, if I can say so, can also help. I didn't film the whole process, just a few clips here and there, because I know cleaning aquariums and terrariums is quite daunting or tedious, but we have to do for the sake of our pets.
Isn't it time we go our separate ways? Not enough time, not enough time.
And now let's jump straight into the next project, which is the TV stand. So because we wanted to add the speaker and the subwoofer in the cabinet as well, and we had an exact measurement for the TV stand, it was easier to create one by ourselves. And I might be wrong, but I think when you have a smaller space, it's way harder to find the right furnitures because you are really tied to the measurements to make everything work, but be as practical as possible. Whereas when you have a bigger space, you don't have to have millimeter accurate furniture because you have the space to compromise.
I'm falling behind, I hate to separate my body and mind, my body and mind.
We are just trying to figure out its height because I wanted to mount it on the wall. Since it's kind of in an awkward position, I thought mounting it on the wall, it will give the illusion of more space since you can see bigger part of the floor. Also, I just wanted everything white to blend in the wall so they won't squash the space and make it feel crowded. I was thinking that maybe one of the cabinets to be wood tone, but I was afraid if we do the cabinet under the aquarium, then that space will feel very heavy, and if we do the TV stand wood tone, then it will pop out too much and show more how awkward is that the TV stand kind of blocks the other cabinet. And for those of you who are new here, the reason behind it is because this way the space is bigger, and with the kids needing to play in the living room sometimes is more practical. Don't mind me standing there, I was sure I'm out of the picture, but I was wrong. Then also, next to adding more storage and more practicality to the TV stand, we had one more goal, which is finally able to channel all the cables in the middle. Since the wall is made out of bricks, it's more hassle to chase the cables in the wall, and probably would anyway end up with a bump or a visible line on the wall, so this is why we decided to use cable trunking. Although it's still visible, but everybody knows why it's there, so it's not an eyesore. We used the smallest possible to make it less impactful, but let me tell you that after watching all those black cables hanging from everywhere, this is quite relaxing for my eyes. We just created it and we are already cutting it. DIY is fun and it can be so rewarding, but until you get there, the road is very bumpy. You imagine something, then you create it and you realize you made a mistake, so you try to fix it. Then you do a couple of more mistakes probably and realize that if you would start it all over again, many things you would do differently. But it's so worth it because with every project, no matter if it's a small one or a big one, you always learn something new. Yes, you are right, that is not for everyone and it's hard, but I think many of us who once tasted the freedom of creating and customizing things to your needs, you cannot just stop.
Demons pushing on my triggers. Demons pushing on my triggers. Demons pushing on my triggers. I'm acting surprised.
The last few bits left, the holes for the cables. I fully cut out that part because there wasn't much to see and your cables probably would run differently. The more important thing is how neat the cables are looking at the moment. Can we just rewind to see from where we started? Cables are hanging on both sides. I think we can agree that now the wall looks way cleaner.
But I know I'm not over you. Keep missing a fight.
Let's wipe out all the sawdust and then we can go ahead and add our stuffs back. My plan is to use the TV stand as a media cabinet only. We used to keep papers and photos as well in the old TV stand, but now I just want them separated. Organizing isn't always and only about creating more free space or about less stuff. It's about smarter system, what works for you. Organizing also means creating narrowed down sections or microsystems, if you will, so that you can easily reach every single item. The truth is, if it's easier to take it out and place it back, you will be more than to place it back after use, or at least it won't feel such tedious chore to tidy it up. The shelves aren't painted yet because I didn't know how many of them I need, so we cut them as I organized, and on this side we also will change the thick shelf to 2 thinner one. We just ran out of the thin plywood because originally we planned to use the thicker one. While on the other side we have all the consoles and controllers. I wanted to add these CDs and some old CDs, but I think I will move on external hard disk at some point in this side. Also, I added a basket for travel items like the headphones and power bank and travel socket adapter. All of them are mainly used during long travels, so it will be easier when we pack. Then, since all the cables are plugged in, we can add the cover on the trunking to hide all those cables.
Think I'm losing my mind, but I guess that's what love do.
We made a bit of dust drilling the holes, and in the meantime we touched many dusty things and we left our fingerprints on the top, so that needs a good wipe. But I am so happy how our DIY stand turned out. I was a bit anxious if I did the right choice, but still today I feel like this was the right design and best decision. Now everything is in one place. We can fully open the door since the subwoofer isn't behind it, and by being able to fully open the door, visually the space looks bigger. As for now, I just added back the decors what we had before, but in the next part we will change that as well. I already packed a few things back in this cabinet because we need that space to move around. Now this cabinet may won't be as organized as I wished because as for now I need to squeeze more things in than I originally planned. My plan is to add a cabinet above the aquarium as well for memory items and photos and other household stuff, so the lower part will be more for documents, craft papers, so the kids can reach them. Unfortunately, we didn't have the time for that, and to be honest, it's not that necessary or urgent yet, so this cabinet will get a temporary organizing system, but once the upper cabinet will be done, I will come back and reorganize a few things in here.
Feel like demons in my mind, demons in my mind. You taste like you.
All those papers we did declutter before we placed anything back in the cabinet. I feel like paper clutter is such a sneaky clutter because it accumulates silently, especially because there are documents what you have to keep for a certain amount of time, and sometimes you just cannot decide if you should keep it or not, so you keep it but never ever take it out afterwards until the day you suddenly realize that the paper is taking over the space, so you just start decluttering.
It's like demons in my mind, demons pushing out.
I couldn't focus anymore yesterday. The kids were noisy and energetic and my thoughts were annoyingly loud, so I decided to take a bit of break and start decluttering and organizing the next day. I like to declutter and organize calmly and focus, so there is less chance that I keep ordering things just to finally finish it. We had so many cables. I have no idea why we keep ordering new charging cables I haven't calculated, but I am sure we have at least 10. Then there were many cables for stuff what we don't own anymore, so those needed to be removed. I ordered new organizer boxes for the kids' toys mainly, but I thought let's just try them for our cables and stuffs, and in some cases it was handy to have them. There were a few accumulators and cables for that, but I organized together in one box, so no more looking for pieces because now everything is in one place. Then we had quite a few camera parts, but I also organized in one box. Then the pins and small foam parts, what is a nightmare to find, so I had tiny boxes as well, and I stored them in one of those. I actually love this idea because it truly resolved the hunting in the bottom of the drawer or large box. Lately we struggled with the batteries. Before we didn't use so much of them, and that small box was enough to keep them tidy. There still isn't too many to be necessary to buy a battery case, so I need something not too big but what keeps them in place, and I thought I would give those boxes a try. They do look neat, but I don't know if they will be big enough later on or like at Christmas time when I use many lights to decorate. But as for now they do work perfectly. You will see it later on. I just saw the battery scattered at the bottom of the drawer, and this is why I got so into. I still felt like there are too many cables and they look chaotic, so first I thought organizing them in boxes would resolve the situation, but for some of the categories what I wanted to create, these boxes were too small, so I kept the chaotic box, but later I have to find a better solution. And as I am watching the clips back, I might can see a few things what I should have decluttered, so that will help as well. Then here I am sorting the batteries, and it was bath time and everyone around me was running around, so I had to cut many parts out. I just wanted to disclose it in case anyone would find it a bit annoying. Another thing for what we have to find solution is our old phones. I checked, but main brands don't take their old phones back, only if you buy a new one, but we have way too many old ones. Also, we still have, or at least we still supposed to have family photos on them, so we have to take them somewhere where they can get those for us. It would be nice if we could find a solution to sell them, so a bit would come back from their price. That shelf looks a bit crowded, but once we sort the chaotic box and I move our stuff from the old CDs to external hard disks, then that will free up quite a big part of the shelf. I don't know who you are, I don't know. These are all what I decluttered. I would say it's pretty good, but to be honest I feel like that would sound like a competition who can declutter more of his stuffs, and as I lately see it, it's turning more into a silent competition here on YouTube. To me, even if I get rid of one thing what we don't use is a progress, because it's not about numbers of bags or items, it's about if you don't use it, don't keep it, but only get rid of it if you truly won't use it. It's no point to declutter something what you use time to time because someone said as. So even if I say I would declutter a certain stuff in our household, that doesn't mean you have to as well. To be honest, now that we don't have any toddler who could leave her little Foody fingerprints on the sofa, I don't need to wash the sofa often. Even if you would look at it closely, it would look spotless clean, but what we cannot see is the dust and pet hair, especially because our sofa and our cat fur are quite matching. So even if I don't need to wash the sofa so often, I still want to do it at least twice a year during my seasonal deep cleanings. I was quite surprised how much dust and pet hair came out of our spotless sofa. While the sofa was dry, I never saw that line. That's where the sofa pillow is starting and we sit, so I am glad that I didn't let the clean look fool me. And in a minute I will show you a close-up of how nasty the water looks as I clean, and later on I will show you more detail that actually how much dirt it came out from our supposedly clean sofa. It's quite shocking. As you know, I never been diagnosed with dust allergy, but if there is a tiny bit of fine dust, I do have reaction to it. So if I can get rid of as much dust as I can, the less reaction will I have. And anyway, at the end of the day, that's the whole point of deep cleaning, making sure everything is truly fresh and clean and creating a healthy environment for our families.
What you've been through, why you got scars. Since you walked through the door, I've been trying to reach you, 'cause I feel you. What's the story to tell? What's the story behind the mountain you're trying to climb? Think I've heard it before in a movie line. We can write our own ending this time. I wanna say no, but I cannot lie. I'm so curious about your life, but you're a stranger trying to hide. What I see is not you.
I really love this portable carpet and upholstery cleaner because it does a fantastic job. I just removed a big part of the hair when I realized that, wait a minute, I'm supposed to show you guys, but it's still quite nasty. Probably if I would had vacuumed the sofa first, as I usually do, then we would have less, but as I said, I was convinced that it wouldn't be this bad. After the shocking realization, I just gave the sofa a vacuum in the joint areas, because from there I couldn't wash the dust out and there was plenty in the seating area.
You don't deny. I wanna see the rest of you tonight. Seven of you and only one is for real. You spin me around.
The dirty water tank from outside isn't showing too much, so I thought I will show you from inside how much dust and hair is in that water. So even if your sofa looks clean, believe me, it's just a look.
Then you make believe. Seven of you and only me.
Then it's better to wash the cushion covers as well. I like to first tackle the fabrics because those need drying time.
How can I trust your personality? Seven you and only one is for real. Let me be the one that makes you feel. Seven you and only me. Seven you and only one is for real.
Now a quick clean up and making some space for the rug. I need to bring it back, and I will also tell about the result of the soak cleaning experiment.
I don't know what to find. I don't know what to look for. Can you give a clue? You and your beat up guitar always seem to move me like a superstar. What's the story?
And yes, from Foody Fingerprints we moved to glitters, and I cannot decide which one is the worst. At least you can wipe the fingerprints away, but these glitters are everywhere and seems to be hard to beat the spark.
About you, what's the story behind that sad tattoo you're trying to hide? I think I've heard it before in a movie line. We can write our own ending this time. I wanna say no, but I cannot lie. I'm so curious about your life, but
And here is the rug, and probably you wouldn't expect it, but we will clean it once again. So the soaking method helped a lot with the odor, so there is no odor, but after taking it outside I should probably rinse the rug because in some areas I can see the stain from the dirty water. This is why we will go over the rug once again with my carpet cleaner, then take it outside to dry. And my honest opinion is that although soak cleaning is quite a process, I will do it all over again. It's not even a question. Probably I won't need to do this with this rug because I need to upgrade it to a larger size, but it's just nice to know that if I get the same issue with my next rug, I know how to solve the odor issue without spending a fortune on professional carpet cleaners.
you're a stranger trying to hide. What I see is not you, don't deny. I wanna see the rest of you tonight. Seven of you and only one is for real. You spin me around and you make believe. Seven of you and only me. How can I trust your personality? Seven you and only one is for real. Let me be the one that makes you feel.
got so focused on removing the stain that I totally forgot about emptying out the tank. I just kept adding and adding water until the dirty water tank been too full, but thankfully nothing happened. I emptied it out and we can finish this cleaning. Although I have sped up and cut the rug cleaning to keep things interesting for you guys, I really did take my time with it. Since the weather was nice enough to let me dry it outside, I made sure to thoroughly wash every single inch. I didn't want to rush the end of the process if I decided to dedicate my time and energy to fix this rug.
I got no money, like it or not, I'm funny. Still in searching of my destination. I like to party, living my way is arty. All I offer is my reputation. Hey, let's walk this way. This party will rock every minute stolen. If you wanna be my midnight.
I felt as I lifted the rug that I haven't gripped it properly, but I thought I can manage it until it just slipped out of my hands and took half of the free edge of one of my nails.
You blow my mind, and it would be kind of a groovy story if you wanna be my midnight mover.
This cabinet haven't been fully emptied and taken outside yet, so it's time to fix it. I just need to remove things from the door and move it in the new cabinet, but here comes the twist. I usually struggle with these storage caddies to keep them on, and now after restaking it last time, it doesn't want to come off. If I try to pull it off, the whole cabinet comes with it. If I try to push it downwards, it starts to twist. I tried the knife, my weight, my strength, everything for a good 15 minutes when I gave the essential gear a try, and believe me or not, the caddy was off under not even a full minute. I don't know if I should be embarrassed or shocked, but anyway, now it's down so we can stick it on the new cabinet's door. Since I am trying to better separate the things, the cricket mats are going on this side and the caddy will go on the other side.
Making sketches of future illusions, but I'm the present, living the kind of essence that will crush all your sacred illusions. Hey.
This time to stick the caddy on, I used common strips because it's easier to remove them. For first I wanted to use the caddy as a tray for the aquarium vacuum, but what I haven't thought about is the bulkiness of some part of the vacuum, so it wasn't the best solution. This is why I ended up moving on one of the shelves. Maybe once I get the upper cabinet and everything sorted, I can better store the vacuum, but for now it's in the cupboard hidden away because before it had to stay outside next to the cabinet. Thankfully many items what was visible before because of the lack of the space now got a proper home, transforming the space less cluttery.
Let's walk this way. This party will rock every minute stolen. If you wanna be my midnight mover, you blow my mind, and it would be kind of a groovy story. If you wanna be my midnight mover.
Then we still got a drawer to empty out and organize, so previously this was the designated space for photos and memory items, souvenirs, and for this we would need the upper cabinet. Well, not just for this, but this would stay there too.
Taking a shot is all we got. Rocking the boat, undo the knot.
I try to be very strict with how many souvenirs or sentimental items do we keep, narrowing it down to those which had a bigger impact in our life. Then I haven't thought about it before, but I used one of the boxes what I bought for the kids board games to store our pictures, and I loved how well it kept many of the photos in place. I think I would need to buy some albums for the smaller photos, but I just love the box idea. I also want to buy a proper box for our souvenirs because as for now I only have this body scrub gift box, but what can I do? It worked great until it haven't torn. You know me, I would use anything around the house, just get our stuff organized. For me it's not always about the look of the organizer, especially when it's anyway hidden. It's more about practicality, that the item what I use to organize fully serve the purpose.
Of your mind, facing the fact that I'm your sign. Hey, let's walk this way. This party will rock every minute stolen. If you wanna be my midnight mover, you blow my mind.
Then I used one more of those board game boxes to store papers like photo papers and sticker papers. I wanted to add those punch pockets or file pockets in the box, but they didn't fit, so I ended up adding them in a folder to keep them contained.
Will it be kind of a groovy story if you wanna be my midnight mover?
I try my best to talk to you, tell you about the things I like to do. You know your smile is lighting.
Now I am just cleaning up the decluttered items and placing in the cabinet the rest. I won't show you the final result because, as I said, it's not yet as organized as I wanted to, but once we will have the final result of the wall area next to the chimney, I will show you how everything turned out. And we are going to pause right here for now. We have reached to the point where we can really dive deep into the deep cleaning and into those final touches to transform this space. It's not just going to look clean, it's going to be truly spotless because we are moving every piece of furniture to get rid of the dust in every single inch. So if you are looking for the kind of intense cleaning and organizing that actually transforms your home, there is so much more coming. After we finish the living room, we are heading into the kitchen to deep clean the appliances, wash down cabinets and organize inside some of them. I am also hoping to tackle the pantry, but I will see how far we can get with that. If you don't want to miss out on the rest of this extreme spring deep cleaning transformation series, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Remember, we are just taking a quick break. Part 2 of this 10-hour deep cleaning transformation is coming in just 7 days. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely weekend and I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.
Up the room, up the room. Do you